Thanks very much for joining London and Cambridge, Martin. What could the government do to make the UK more competitive?
We live in very difficult times. The latest round of statistics that have come out in the last few days show that the Bank of England projections are really declining. We are at the worst point of a recession for 25 years, so further action is definitely required. I think the government's policy of quantitative easing is the right measure, and indeed there are announcements to invest a further 75 billion sterling in the next year, which I support. I think the government's got to go a lot further, particularly in the SME sector, which has always been highlighted as where the recovery will come from. There's far too many examples of small businesses still finding it difficult to borrow from the leading banks, and in fact recent surveys show that 54% of all small businesses didn't feel comfortable extending their position. So I think the government's got to intervene in the leading banks where it still has got some very strong equity stakes and take a proactive position. I think also there's something to be done on the final points, tackling the youth market. We've got 22% unemployment in the youth market, and the government's got to do a lot more in terms of its programme of work there and invest in apprenticeships. So I think there's a few points there, but really we live in difficult times and the government needs to take more action.
Thanks very much, Martin.